Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're pregnant and you're planning to breastfeed, I'm about to share something with you that is an absolute game changer. It's something that I recommend to all of my clients, that I've done with my first two babies and I'm currently doing as I prepare for the arrival of baby number 3. And this will be your lifeline in the first week of breastfeeding. So let's dive in to our topic for today, which is colostrum harvesting. Now, many mums don't realise that your body actually starts producing colostrum really early on in pregnancy, right about your second trimester. Colostrum is that initial thick, sticky, yellow substance that our breasts produce and that our baby will feed on in the first 3 to 4 days after birth, before our body starts to make a change to producing that more mature milk, or what looks more like what we would think of as milk. But a lot of mums find, especially in that first week of breastfeeding, that they have challenges. Sometimes it's as simple as baby not latching well, baby being sleepy after labour, especially if you've had medications, things like morphine or pethidine in labour. It's really common for babies to be quite sleepy. Same with babies who are born by caesarean section. They might be quite mucousy and not inclined to feed. Or babies who start to develop jaundice in those first few weeks also tend to not feed as well. It might also be that you or your baby is particularly unwell and you're separated and you can't breastfeed them straight away. All of those situations are where this colostrum harvesting comes into play. So what we're doing is we're actually expressing by hand some colostrum and freezing it to store before your baby's born. And then when your baby arrives, if you're having any challenges with feeding, if they won't latch, if it's painful and you need a break, if baby is losing weight or their blood sugar's low, or you're separated for any reason, you don't have to worry about diving in and giving them formula and not only disrupting their gut bacteria, but also disrupting that breastfeeding journey by filling them up on large amounts of formula, because you've got your colostrum all harvested, ready to go, and you can be giving that to baby to keep them fed while you hand express some more and while you get some support to figure out what's going on with your breastfeeding. Colostrum harvesting is really, really simple. We recommend that you start from around 37 weeks of pregnancy, although it's always worth checking with your midwife or your care provider if there's any reasons like risk factors of preterm labour or any other concerns why they would suggest different to this. But we recommend that you start from around 37 weeks. You can do it as often or as little as you like. And when we talk about harvesting colostrum, what we do is that we harvest it in tiny little syringes like this. These syringes are each 1 ml. But when your baby's born, and in those first few feeds, they might only take one of these syringes, maybe a couple, as they start to get into those first couple of days. Colostrum is incredibly nutrient dense, but babies don't need a lot of it. They just need frequent feeds because it doesn't stay in their tummy for very long. So how do we actually harvest colostrum? Really, really easy and simple. And I'm going to take you through this now, and then I'll show you a little video of a mum harvesting colostrum so you can see exactly what the process looks like. So all we need to start with is you, your boobs, and a colostrum syringe. You can get these from your midwife or your hospital. You can also order them online really easily. If you just search 1 ml colostrum syringe or colostrum collector, you'll find them really easy to access there as well. So what we start with when we're harvesting colostrum is basically all we're doing is that we're just syringing the little drops of colostrum directly off the end of your nipple and using a technique called hand expressing. Hand expressing is really easy, and it's a great thing to know even for after your baby's born and your milk's come in, because it's a simple way to help deal with engorgement, to express if you haven't got a pump handy, or to help your baby latch on. So what we start with, your colostrum syringe has a little cap on it. So we just want to take that cap off, and there's 2 ways we can do this. One is to use the syringe directly on the end of your nipple and just slowly pull back on the plunger and suck up those little drops of colostrum. The other way that we can do it is that we take the cap off, we pull the plunger out of the syringe, and then we put the cap back on, and we use the other end of the syringe just to collect those little drops as they come out. Now, some of this depends on how dexterous you are. I tend to usually use the method of sucking up with the syringe, but if you find it easier just to hold the tube underneath and use it like a little collector and just grab those drops as they fall, you can definitely do that too. If it's your first baby or you've only just started trying colostrum harvesting, it's normal to only get a tiny amount. You might not even fill a syringe. That's fine. It will increase as time goes on. Is that we start by making a C shape with our hand. And we want to place that just outside your areola, so just outside that darker area of skin around your nipple. Now, the easiest way that I find to describe hand expressing to mums is if you imagine that you're trying to either push your fingers back towards your spine, or you're trying to sort of stretch this skin out away from your nipple. So we're doing that kind of pushing back motion, and then we're pinching our fingers in behind the nipple. So we're pushing back and pinching in. Now you can see here that my fingers aren't actually moving on the breast. So they're not sliding down towards the nipple as you go. We're not milking down the breast. We're keeping them in the same position, pushing back or stretching out, and then pinching in, and pushing back and pinching in. And as you do this, what you'll start to see is little drops of colostrum appearing on your nipple. So all you need to do is take your syringe and either, if you've pulled it apart, just catch them in the end, or use the tip of the syringe and then use your middle finger here just to pull the plunger back and suck up those little droplets off the nipple. And you've got as much in the syringe as you would like. Just take your little cap, pop it back on the end of the syringe, and if you've carefully saved the packet that it came in, you can use that very easily just to write the date on, or you can stick a label on your syringe, slide it back into the packet and pop them into a plastic Ziploc or freezer bag and just lay them down in your freezer. Now, one question that I did get from a parent once, which I'd never thought of myself, was if we express now, will there be anything left when baby comes? Which is a great question. Colostrum, just like mature milk, works on supply and demand. So every time we remove some, your body will replace it. So even if we do lots of expressing antenatally and we've got a freezer full of colostrum, your body will keep replacing that, so there's still some there ready to go when your baby's born. If you've enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to hit that subscribe button so that you don't miss out on new videos and that you can help support my channel as well. And any questions or comments, please leave them down below and I'll be more than happy to chat to you. And I'll see you all soon.